Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now this is a full 30-minute workout. If you're looking for a full heavy bag workout that's going to test your combinations, going to test your skill and give you options when you're sparring, this is the one for you. Now I'm going to demonstrate all of the techniques for you. I'm going to give you a voiceover on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Now if you punch slightly different, if you kick slightly different, that's okay. Do it in your own particular style, but follow the combinations and follow the theme of the workout. The first 5 rounds are going to be involving the rear leg roundhouse kick, okay? Now the second half is going to be similar combinations, and you'll see why they're similar and not the same. We're going to tweak them very slightly, okay? And that's going to have the lead roundhouse, a mixture of switch lead kicking and stepping lead kicking. So give it your all, and this will be an awesome workout.
Combination number 1 is the most simple of them all, but still work on getting the technique right. You start with a lead jab and rotate into a rear leg roundhouse kick. Now, like I said earlier, throw the techniques with your particular style. We might punch differently or kick differently, but you can still do the same workout. If you set 2-minute rounds with 1-minute rest, that's going to make it a 30-minute workout for you, and that's what we're working with here in the video. And when you work that lead jab, use the rotation of your body to pull you back into the roundhouse kick. You want to flow from one move to the next. That's going to be the idea as we build the combinations throughout the whole workout. You shouldn't really pause unless it's intentional, and you'll see why we do that in some of the later techniques. Now always try to work with a good guard, whatever's correct for your style. Now I like to make sure that I'm planting those feet and turning into that roundhouse kick. You can step, but make sure you work on that pivot on the ball of the toes, not on. Okay. Now with round 2, you're going to throw a jab, cross, followed by a rear leg roundhouse kick. So the idea here is to let that roundhouse kick follow the cross, not to rotate in the opposite way. In combination number 1, the jab sets you up and then you counter rotate back anti-clockwise. Here the idea is to throw the kick directly behind the punch. You can use the punch to disguise the kick when you're sparring and when you're fighting. And you don't lose any time, you don't lose any momentum. You don't get any time to pull the cross back like you normally would, so it might feel a bit more like a push than an actual punch with a crack or a pop on the end of it. But like I say, the idea is with this combination, let that kick follow the cross. A lot of these kickboxing combinations are about flooding your opponent and working to slightly different speeds. You don't want to have a predictable tempo when you strike. Move about and don't always stick to the same techniques. If you want to use a few jabs or a few kicks just to control the bag, that's fine. But each round work to the combination. Jab, cross, roundhouse. Jab, cross, roundhouse. Again, work on that breathing. It's really important. If you hold your breath, you're going to run out of steam. Round number 3 is a really traditional kickboxing, karate and Muay Thai combination. You're going to see it a lot. It's jab, cross, lead hook, rear roundhouse. So we're going back to the concept in the first combination. Each shot is going to counter rotate you to set you up for the next one. So make sure you're working on getting that shoulder rotation, turn those hips, turn those shoulders. Keep the speed as well. You don't want to be stopping. The idea, like I said before, is to flood your opponent. Jab, cross, hook, rear roundhouse. Now you'll have noticed I've been playing around with the heights of the roundhouse kick. You can do the same. So long as you keep to the same combination, keep the techniques in the same order, you can change the height of the kick. So work it to the head, work it to different levels on the body, work it to different levels across the leg. This way make sure you get a good range of roundhouse kicks thrown. You don't work them all to the exact same spot. But look how I'm using the techniques to pull me into the next shot. Each shot has a small movement and it should set you up for the next. Now round 4, we're going to play with the rhythm a little bit. you throw a lead jab and immediately turn into a lead hook and then throw the re-roundhouse kick. This gives the impression that you're going to throw a cross after the jab, so you can give a small turn with the shoulders just so you upset your opponent. They think a cross is going to come and they're either going to slip, they're going to be ready to cover, and you hook around the guard and then throw your roundhouse kick. So the roundhouse kick is going to counter rotate from the hook. I'm going to turn clockwise on the hook and anti-clockwise on the roundhouse. You're working on the speed, but don't rush the transition from the jab to the hook. There's no point just touching the side of your opponent or tapping the side of the guard. You still want to drive the hook. Jab, hook, roundhouse. Left, left, right. Left, left, right. Keep playing with the heights of that kick. And depending on your style, use a different part of the shin. Use the instep. Make sure it's correct for your style. When I like to spar and fight in a southpaw stance, this one works nicely as well because you're attacking around the lead side of the guard and into the lead side of the head. Combination number 5 is building on combination number 4. Start with the jab, lead hook. Now your opponent is going to start second guessing you and expect a kick by this point. So instead of throwing the kick, you throw a cross followed by another lead hook, then throw the kick. Jab, lead hook, cross hook, then kick. Jab hook, cross hook, roundhouse. Look how I'm changing the guard as I strike. I throw one hand out to punch, the other hand stays back at base. Guard that head, guard your face. The jab and the hook sets off with that awkward rhythm, and then you settle back into that nice counter rotation. From the hook you can easily throw the cross. You can easily come back into another hook and easily turn back into the roundhouse. The whole thing is about getting momentum while keeping your speed. So throw these nice and sharp. Obviously the fitter you are, the better you are, the sharper you should expect yourself to be. Jab hook, cross hook, kick. Once you get the tempo down, once you get the combination feeling right, that's when you should really mix with the height of the kick. So again, bring it up different heights to the body, not just one spot. Are you hitting the chest? Are you hitting the gut? When you throw it to the leg, are you going below the knee, over the knee? Are you going to the head? This is one you can really get your teeth into as well. And plant those feet, turn your hips, turn your shoulders. Combo 6, this is the halfway point. We're going to switch every combination now to throw the lead leg roundhouse. So keep the same stance. This time we're going to drive out that jab and immediately kick up the lead leg roundhouse kick. You can do this 2 ways. I'll be doing both of them throughout the round, so make sure you pay attention to my footwork. You can either switch your stance like this, or you can step and kick, where you step up behind the punch. Both of them are fine. You might know different ways based on your own style. You throw in the jab and you step up. Long range roundhouse kick, so you're establishing range with this sort of combination. If they get really close, you can kick across the body, but this is more of a speedy shot. You want to throw that kick up as fast as possible behind the jab. If you want to control the range and they're pushing in on you, you can switch and step back at the same time. It's a very basic combination, but it can be done in very advanced ways, you see. There are different ways to get more power by leaning into the kick as well, but be sure you don't rely on this method of getting power. Jab, lead roundhouse, left, left. Be sure to draw that guard back. I can notice with myself here, I'm dropping the guard on this side. It's a little bit to do with the shoulder surgery, a little bit to do with getting used to the new arm. Make sure you're not dropping the guard too. Again, breathing is very important. Take a deep breath in at the start. Number 7. We're still driving in that lead leg, okay? Jab cross, lead roundhouse kick. So now you've got a little bit of that counter rotation going back on again. Now here's a quick tip for you too. Don't expect your lead leg to be as powerful as the rear leg. The rear leg has more space and it's got more time to accelerate. Okay, you can get more muscles into it, you can turn the whole body a lot easier. So the lead leg combinations, I want you to think more about the speed. You want to be in and out, you want to be hitting your opponent on different sides and threatening from different angles. Jab cross, lead roundhouse. You'll see on some of these, I stay down the center line, I come straight up the middle, bam. And sometimes I'll step across, so if I step to the right, like this, you can get a little bit more swing and a little bit more power, but it's about managing the distance. Don't get too close, and don't be too far away. It's easier to learn on the bag than it is to learn on someone who's punching you in the face. So practice with the bag. Control it now and again with a few jabs, but work with the swing. Move around it if you have the space. Jab cross, lead roundhouse. Drive it to different heights. You can hear the breathing as well. Nice strong out breath on every shot. Now round 8 is where you see the difference and the alterations in the style of throwing the hands when you're throwing the lead leg roundhouse. If I was to throw the lead hook like when we're working the rear roundhouse, it's really awkward and really too close to be throwing a roundhouse. It's more like elbow and knee territory there, headbutts. So now we're going to throw a jab. Yeah, jab, cross, jab, lead roundhouse. So like on combination number 6, where we're firing that roundhouse up behind the jab, we're just establishing a few more punches first. So this can cause your opponent to guard, it can cause them to really dig the feet into the ground. And that's what you want. You want your opponent to stand still. If I throw a single jab, they can parry, slip, they can move. But if I throw 3 shots, and I throw them with bad intentions, I throw them with speed, it allows me to drive that lead leg roundhouse up. Now, like before, there are different ways to get power. Drive that rear leg down, make sure it's stable. Even if you pivot with the ball of the toes, as you should do, you need a strong base to keep a hard kick here. Now use the speed you establish with the boxing and keep that speed when you drive the leg up. There's no point going 1, 2, 3, kick. It's too late. You want to go 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Try and hit as if it was another cross, that sort of tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, combination number 9. We're bringing back the lead hook off the jab. You're going to follow it with a cross and then drive up that lead leg roundhouse. Nice and fast, nice and hard. Jab, lead hook, cross, lead roundhouse. Jab, hook, cross, lead roundhouse. Now combination number 8 allows you to really set a good pace. You establish some real speed there, so I want you to carry that over into this round. When you jab, there's a small turn of the right shoulder. It can be like a fake or a feint, so your opponent thinks the cross is coming early. That allows you to throw that lead hook. So jab, small turn with the right shoulder, and that allows you to get a harder left hook. This works because you've already been hitting your opponent with a cross. You've already been smashing them hard with that cross after the jab. So if you fake that cross and then immediately throw a hook, followed by a cross and a kick, you have a good chance of flustering your opponent. And if you can break somebody's mental state, it's a lot harder to start hitting them. It's a lot harder to get the momentum in your favor. And combinations like this can feel a bit unusual if you're not used to throwing them. Work on them and see if you can adapt it for your own style. Round number 10. Okay, my friend, you're going to be tired by this point. If you've been pushing yourself, it doesn't matter how fit you are, you're going to be tired by this point. So keep the good technique. Yeah, keep that guard. Keep the rotation of the hips. Yeah, keep that guard high at the start and keep it high at the end. Now we're starting with the jab into the hook, cross, hook, cross, lead roundhouse, yeah? So we know we can throw a lead roundhouse much more easily off the cross, so that's what we're establishing here. Flood them with your boxing. Finish them with the kick. Jab, hook, cross, kick. So this is the longest combination, and it's probably the most challenging because it's off the lead roundhouse, so work on it, get it right, then throw it fast, then throw it hard. Jab, hook, cross, lead roundhouse. Just repeat it over and over in your head. Do it slowly at first if you have to, but then build up the speed. Each shot should set you up for the next one. So remember that little shoulder turn before you throw that lead hook. Jab, spin your shoulder, and then after this point, every shot should flow. 1, 2, 3, into the kick. Yeah? 1, 2, jab, lead hook, cross, roundhouse. Just repeat that to yourself over and over. Good luck with the workout, my friend. If you give it a try, leave me a comment. Let me know how you did. And if you're new, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Right, because the way it is to compare is you can look amazing in your training sessions, but when pressure is on you, you perform completely different. Now, it's the same thing when people spar. People spar, they look